going on, everybody? It's your boy, Itz-Beez-Da, TrackStar, and welcome back to Dancehall Masterclass. Mastering, right? And in talking about mastering, it's not really a thing where you can just cover one aspect, because basically mastering is really similar to mixing. Is more knowing how to use the tools in a situation as opposed to a whole project, basically, because you only have a 2-track WAV file, which in this case, the song I'm going to master is from a chick, which you all should know is Sanvin featuring Vinny Block, which you should know as well from the Marco Live. Cool, but love her as an artist, very, very tough, very, very good, confident, you know what I mean, and she's full of flow, full of style. So she do a track for me, get the track back for master here. So we get it as an MP3. So the first thing we need to do is convert this track to a WAV file, right? Firstly, because Pro Tools now going to load it as an MP3, so I have to convert it as a WAV file. We don't do standard WAV 441 16-bit, so convert. We also don't delete the MP3 after the conversion. And once it's done, we can start opening up Pro Tools now. But once it's done, that leave with this track here, which is the 2-track WAV file. So while we wait on Pro Tools to open up, I'm going to find the name of the Riddim, because for whatever reason, I cannot find it. So let's pause this video and I'm going to find that so I can put it in the title of the name. Okay, cool. So I'm finding it. The name of it is Homicidal Maniac. So let's get this name, go into the folder, and in the title of this track, we're going to put it just so we can know it's really depth on, for identification purposes. Cool. Pro Tools still load up all of the VSTs and whatnot. So while that's happening, let's just play the rhythm. I tell you, we can just play the song before we get into mastering the song.
Itz-Beez on the track. Yo, Venom Block.
Yo, Sunven.
Yeah, bad gal a road, hot gal a road, bad gal a road, hot gal a road, bad hot gal a road. No talk enough, me no lippy chitty chatty baby badness. Them a pushing a city nappy, them a try test me fake, but you nah go see me copy. Baddest female in the universe, I want to bunny. Something like Illuminati, super sport Bugatti. Ticking on my shots like a Maserati. Anyway, you see me, you see Venom Black, Alexa, Annie. If you try a war, that's a kamikaze. My time, no. You can't get me up.
Alright, so Pro Tools ready, so we're going to create, we're going to take the entire name of the track, cut or copy, paste, 16-bit WAV file, interleave 441. Make sure I'm load up my own setup. Press create. And it should give you 2 separate tracks. Or not 2 separate tracks, but no tracks. So now we are going to import first. We are going to import the WAV file that we have. So they'll copy that, but also they'll import the mastered, or not mastered, but they'll import the what do you call it? The rhythm. So Homicidal Maniac. I'm gonna import the WAV file for the rhythm here. So let's copy file, done. Use current folder. Right. New track. Can close that. So the reason as to why I import both is because I can use the rhythm if you find the tempo much easier than we can use the song. As I can say, the rhythm have much more distinction over the song. Right. So we are going to just lower the tempo. I believe this is 100 BPM. Which, no, I'm wrong. So we need it to start here. So we'll just keep raising or lowering the tempo until we get it on the 9th bar. And that is kind of the long way to do it, but no, that's fine by me. Let's mute this track. So we need it to start on the 9th bar. Could be 85. Not 85. 82. Alright, so that was too far. 83. Perfect. So now we can, add our markers or whatever. And now this allow me to jump around throughout the track. So we know say which part we right now the start. But we know say right here is the verse. First verse. So we put V1. Cool. This is the hook, like I said. Having the right tempo just allow me to move around.
Them can't get me out now.
You can call this a bridge. So we'll put B1.
Them can't get on. Make a till like a prison door. Me no pose up, me no double four. Try and step a good right.
Or we could just say V2. As this is hook 2. Cool.
Pull up on your hands and shut a scene.
Yep. This is Venom Block, so we'll put V3. And because we never hear him before, we got put him name. So I know exactly what I go on. Don't mean to type with caps lock. So that's V3. Should go back into the hook. Through your shoes. Alright, so him do a whole 16. So we go H3. Not 23. 3. And here,
baby them.
this is the outro. And here, we will call that end. And what we will do, we will change this tune back to standard. Change the grid to a half note. And we just shorten up this, so it line up with the ending. Also could just do that and delete all of that. And at the end, we're going to add a fade on both, because why not? And then in the front, just one small fade to come in. As you can see, tracks line up different anyway. So we can shift this over like that. Cool. And then add a small fade in the front of both of these. Now we can remove just hide it, the master track, or change the color of this track to more something what I'm used to. So now, this is what we have to work with. I'm doing 2 masters. I'm doing one for streaming and also I do one CD. So we know we'll need 2 tracks. We need 2 auxiliary tracks, right? Also, 2 stereo audio tracks. So auxiliary 1, we don't call that stream aux. Cool. auxiliary 2, we will call this CD aux. Then the first audio track we'll call CD master. Second one, stream master. Now, we need to rearrange, put this above, so we keep consistency. These two auxiliaries, solar safe. Color of these tracks, of course, can change. We will do my typical auxiliary tracks, and then the color of these tracks, we'll do red, like my typical master. So, some routing needs to be done. From this track here, we will go out into stream aux. If we hold Option or Alt and Shift, I think, I should be able to select more than one output. Not giving me that option. Yeah, not giving me that option, but it's okay. Cool, there we go. So, you select stream aux out and CD aux out. And we can also just do this, look. Send everything out the same track. And then this track here, we can send to two different outputs. So, we'll send it first to stream aux out, and then we'll send it to CD aux out. And it should be showing a plus sign. There we go. Once it starts to show the plus sign, then we have it set the right way. Here we can just go out the regular outputs. So now when we play, should have levels coming in.
Itz-Beez on the track.
Into both tracks. Cool. So we can process them similarly until we get to the limiting. That is where everything will change. You understand? So we have that set the right way. These outputs will go, stream out will go into a bus, of course. So we'll use 1 and 2. And then CD out will go into a bus, and we'll use 3 and 4. So we need to change inputs here. So now we shouldn't hear anything. But once we hit this I didn't turn up the bus. Well, I did. Well, go on.
Hot gyal road, bad gyal road, hot gyal road, bad, hot gyal road. No talk enough, me no lippy, chitty, baby, badness them.
Should be hearing this track as well. Change the output. It's the 5 and 6. Yeah, I don't know what going on with 1 and 2. So we'll just do 5 and 6. Cool. So now we have both tracks, right? So I'm saying we can make one irrelevant for right now, and that take care of all of the setup work what we have to do. So now we can start process the track. I won't need any send, so we can get rid of all of these. Also, you can stay in this view here. So first thing we need to do is loop out the loader sections, or the load this section. Typically that will be the hook. So we loop this section here. The first plugin, typical for me, is always an EQ. So yeah, typically an EQ, but in this situation, I'm going a different route. So the first thing in the chain, before we even do the first thing, let's do the last thing. So we need metering, and we need good metering. I'm going to use new gen, I'm going to load about 3 plugins to start. So the first one is the master check. And this is to kind of check everything after the fact, right? So we'll target this, leave it on the screen. The other plugin that I'm going to load is from Waves, and it's a loudness meter. It's called the Doro meter. Mastering metering is very, 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 very important. You don't have good metering, you might as well stop trying to do what you are trying to do. So the thing about the master check is that it has some settings in here that I can check different streaming services. You know, we are doing a stream master and a CD master, so we can check different streaming services and see when levels aren't what they are supposed to be. Cool. So let's get into it. Let's start working on the audio. So the first thing is I'm going to add a little bit of saturation, a little bit of grit to the sound. And to do that, I'm using the black box from Analog Design. Need to keep the Doro meter on the screen though, just so we can monitor levels. So let's play without the Analog Design and listen and see what the levels are. Okay, so first thing we need to do, we need to get this out of K-weighted full scale. I want to use LUFS. Here we go, right here. Codec, we don't need that right now. So once we change the scale from LKFS to LUFS, we go back in here and we look at our LUFS. For streaming, LUFS should be at -14 for like typically. So this is set to Spotify right now. So basically, the green area is the sweet spot. So if I were to change this from Spotify to, let's say, Tidal, as you can see, the green area is changing in the background. You know, so TV right there, you know, you see the green area is changing. So pretty much where we are right now is a good level. You know what I mean? So the thing that I am going to have to do is basically bring back the track. So instead of having this first, the first thing that I will have here is a trim plugin, basically, and literally that is the name of it. It's called trim. And the reason for that is just to bring the level back, because I don't want to go and lower the volume. For whatever reason, I'm not seeing the trim plugin, but I know it exists. So yeah, I want to bring the level of the track back. So trim is a mono plugin. That's weird. Cool. So we'll take off 4 dB. Cool. And immediately that gives us some wiggle room. Now we are out of the green. Cool. So now we can start work. So like I said, the first thing I'm going to do is add some saturation to the track. Let's bring this all the way to 0. Make sure everything else is zeroed out. And we'll engage. So we have a pentode gain stage and a triode gain stage. Basically these tubes, tube gain stage. So what I typically do is if I raise one, I compensate using the other. That's not always the case though. So we'll see what we need and do that instead of just going with what I conventionally do. And what I'm also going to compensate for is, as you can see, the levels is going up because these are gain stages, so we are adding volume. With the output, I'm going to bring that back so we don't, increase too much volume. We'll engage this ear band here. Without. We had, just an injection of air, and that's mastering is the ability to take something that's already good to a new place, basically. That's all we are trying to do. So this is done, this is out of the way. Now, as you can see, this track is not very dynamic. Cool. So we still will add compression, but not in the typical sense. Like we won't be adding compression because we want to, control dynamics. We'll be adding compression so we can basically push the track a little bit harder, to basically make up for the lack of dynamics, which is weird because that's not typically how you would use a compressor. And I'm not going to be using a compressor in this aggressive way. I'm barely going to be going too much with the gain reduction. I'm just going to use it to just, squeeze a little bit and, bring the track forward a little bit. Probably one of the most famous mastering compressors is the Shadow Hills mastering compressor. Lot of knobs, lot of buttons, but it's very simple compressor to use. It's just the same as any other compressor. The difference is that we have different transformers and tubes and stuff like that. So we have an optical circuit. We also have a discrete circuit. Discrete meaning there's no integrated circuits, no chips, none of that. It's all independent components. So you have resistors, diodes, transistors, transformers. All of it is individual. So if something were to break, you could just replace that one part in like a SSL compressor. If the chip was to break, you couldn't just go in and replace one piece of the chip. You have to replace the whole chip. So this is a discrete circuit. So like I said, we'll be going for about a 0.5 dB to a dB of gain reduction. I am going to be using the discrete circuitry. So we'll select discrete here. The discrete gain or ratio settings is all these lower knobs here. This is for the optical circuitry up here. So we will take the optical circuitry out completely and only use the discrete. Ratio-wise, we will be going very, very, very low ratio. I think this is 1.2 to 1 or 1.5 to 1. The threshold, recovery time, super fast, attack time, super slow, which is already set. We have the modes here where we can switch the transformers, basically. We have steel, nickel, and iron. So whichever one sounds better. This one seems a little bit dark. Yeah, the nickel is the cleanest, it's the most eerie, if we could use that. The iron and steel seem a little bit dark for this material anyway. So this is without the compressor. And remember, we aren't adding any gain yet. Cool. So now let's add the gain. Without. And that's width. Cool. So if we remove what we did so far. If we take away everything, so even the trim, this is louder, but that doesn't mean that it's better. Cool. So let's move on. Next, we go into an EQ, and this is basically surgery time. I make EQ 200. And what I'm going to do, because this thing has a million knobs, I'll turn on my magnifying glass so it will help you guys see a little bit better. Cool. I'll zoom in, we'll use about 150. Okay, so this plugin here is a mastering EQ. This is why we have all these different frequencies, all these different options. And the main thing about mastering EQs, they are not variable 99% of the time. They are stepped. So every click, which this is a Q control. So this is different. Q, you always want the Q to be variable. But every frequency click will be stepped. It will be something that you can go back to. You know, so let's get to work. There's a mono maker section. So basically what this does is it allows me to set a level where everything below that level will be a mono signal. I'm going to do up to about 130. Nice. So we have, like I said, we have options. So we have high pass, low pass. Here is the same high pass and low pass over here. We have a stereo width, which we'll use in a second. For right now, we can turn it off. But we also have mid-side. And when mastering, mid-side is amazing because it allows you to do so much more. So we're going to work in mid-side mode. I'm going to turn off the link parameter setting. Like I said, if you notice, if I move this one, the other one moves. So let's turn off link parameter. So we have independent control because we're working in mid-side, and what we do to the sides, we don't necessarily want to do to the mids. So we'll focus on the mids first. The one thing that I probably wish that they would add to this plugin is automatic solo. Every time I move a frequency parameter, it would, automatically solo. But that's fine. That's just me nitpicking. It's okay. So like I said, we're doing some surgical stuff. So the low EQ, we don't need this one, right? So basically what I'm going to do is I'm going to filter out my typical filter, anything below about 40 or so. And that's in the mids, that's in the mids. So here we will pretty much replicate the same thing. Cool. All right. So the original track had a lot more bass, so my tracks, typically, I filter my beats. So with this low EQ, not this one here, this one here, right around 80, which is where it's at right now, we're going to do a somewhat wide curve. I'm going to bring back a little bit of that body. Okay, a little bit of the mids probably can come out. Let's just do a nice slope like that. Let's just increase the volume, sweep through and see what we can get rid of. It's like I just landed on a perfect sweet spot, 1.1K. So we will, remove some of that. And the high frequency, remember, this is the mids. So we don't really need to go too crazy. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to go all the way to 26K. Very wide slope. And I'll boost about a dB exactly. So something very, very slight, very subtle. Cool. And I will recreate every single thing that I am doing here on a parametric EQ so you can visually see what I am doing. I have the graphic in my head, but for those less experienced, I will recreate all of this so you can see exactly what's going on. So over here now to the sides. Firstly, we don't need the low EQ at all, so let's turn that off. The mid and the highs, that's where we will be focused. So on the sides, we're going to go to about 16K or so. That's 10K away from the peak, which is 26K. And we're going to just crank volume. Very wide slope, similar to the mids, but we are adding a lot more volume, a lot more top end. Now let's divide that 16K by 2 and we'll go to 8K. So basically, we're working in octaves with the processing. Very narrow slope this time, not as wide. You also will change the gain scale from, plus or minus 15 to plus or minus 7. Very, very transparent. This thing is amazing. So amazing. Now remember in the mids, what we did was we took out about 1.1K. So if we divide that by 2 or multiply that by 2, we can either take out a little bit of 650 or 550 or 2200. So I'm going to go the 2200 route. Boost the gain, take a listen. Another nasty frequency, of course. So let's remove some of that more narrow. Let's bypass the whole thing. Okay, so one more thing. In the mids, let's add, or not the mids, in the lows, let's add back this low EQ into the middle and somewhat of a wide shelf, not at 80, but at about 60. I'm going to add about 3 dB. Cool. Awesome. Stereo width time. So let's turn this on. We're going to bring this up to about 120-ish. Without. Just amazing. Just amazing. So let's close the magnifying glass. Don't need it anymore. Cool. Let's remove this clip. So we are 4 plugins in. We're sounding absolutely fantastic. Let's mute everything. So that's before. Just a lot wider, a lot more ear, while retaining all of that mid, low mid, and bass information. Cool. So next, we're going to go into another EQ. Like I said, I'm going to show you exactly what I did on a digital level. Visually, I mean, not on a digital level, but visually, all of this is digital. So the very first thing that I did was I did a high pass filter at 40 Hertz. The slope of that filter is unknown to me. I'm not sure how many dBs per octave, like what I can change here. I'm not sure. I'm just going to use 36, like that's what I always use typically. Then at 60 hertz, I did a nice 3 dB boost. So visually, once again, that would look like this. The slope was a little bit more of a narrow one. And then at 80 hertz, I did another like 2.7 dB boost or so. And once again, the slope was, a little bit more on the wider side. So something like that. Here in the mids at about 1.1K is where I carved out about 3.5, almost 4 dB. Once again, the slope was a little bit more on the narrow side. Then this is all mid processing, of course. And the higher end now at 26K, which this EQ only goes up to 20. If I put 26K, it's going to stop at, oh, it actually does 26K. Okay, cool. So at 26K super wide shelf, I did a 1 dB boost with something super wide. So something like that, basically. So this is the mid processing. If I were to now right click on this point here and go to stereo placement. So basically, let's put all of these in the mid. So let's right click, stereo placement, mid. Now, if I right click on any single one and press split, now we have a side treatment that we can apply. So we'll double click frequency here. We were at 2200, right? For the frequency here. And there we did another somewhat narrow slope again. And we took out another 3 dB. So -3. Cool. Here in the top end, if you right click here and go to split at 16K, we added 3 dB on a very wide slope once again. Then for a separate high frequency at 8K or 8.1K, or just say 8100, we did another narrow boost of about 3 dB. And this is a side band, so we'll right click and change the stereo placement to side. Right click and change the stereo placement to side on this one as well. So this one should be mid. Cool. So a mid-side processing going on. There's a lot of stuff you can do. I believe, am I missing anything? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. So that's it. That's everything that I did. So this is representing visually what's going on. If we maximize this so you can see it better, this is what's going on that EQ. Now, of course, like I said, the slopes are different. I don't have any control over the slopes in here. I'm pretty sure it's in manual, but here I have control, so I could change, how wide or, which we have Q control, but certain stuff like slopes and stuff like that for the low and high pass, we don't have. But this is basically what I'm doing with this EQ, just on a visual level. So we can disable this. Right, let's play again. Cool. We're pretty much there. So lastly, we need to add Fab Filters Pro L2. We're going to add limiting. Now we're going to basically bring this home. So I want an aggressive sound. I want my attack to be relatively slow, about 10 milliseconds, but I want my release to be super fast. Oversampling, because we're in a mastering setting, 32 times my CPU should be able to handle it. I'm just listening to see if there's anything that I could add to this track. Alright, so two changes I want to make. I'm going to re-engage this EQ here. I'm going to wipe out the settings though, of course. Which we could save this. So let's save this as Sunven. No, I still had it. So just save it as the name of the track. And then let's reset it. There are two things that I want to do. Firstly, because we have a visual representation of what's going on here, feel like I want to add a little bit more bass. Not dynamic way. So not anything constant, but just something that I'm doing this is just because we're about to boost the levels, so I want to compensate a little bit for all the air pretty much that I injected into this track. So that's why I'm using this in just a little gentle way, just to add some, small corrections. Cool. So now we can go back to the limiter. This limiter has a feature built in where I am able to change, the monitor and say, as you can see, we have CD mastering here and we also have streaming, which is -14. We are currently at -13, so I will set my ceiling to -3. Because right now we are at -2 point, I believe, -2.2, and the volume is, a little bit above the streaming threshold, which is -14, which is fine. So a general rule of thumb, when you remove 3, you add 3. Cool. So that's -14. Sounds good. The levels are good. I don't really need to adjust too much or anything. I like how the compressor is reacting. I like how it's behaving. Let's go into a few other features. So we have independent release controls. basically. So with this advanced tab here, we can make the left and right release different. So you can basically tell them, you know, release at your own, you know, behest or whatever. There also is a feature in here, it's called 1-to-1, which is if I turn this feature on like that, right? If I bypass the limiter, we can listen to the limit, the volume level. So basically we'll keep the volume level, but we take out the limiting. So let's do a quick reference back and forth. So this is with the limiter engaged. Without. So it's at the same volume. Like I said, it's at the same volume, but no limiting is applied. So let's actually go out and listen. Let's watch our meters and see if they behave any different. So this is without. So I know for me, the difference is that without the limiter, the vocals seem to take a back seat. And with the limiting engaged, the vocals come up, the track around the vocals sits a much better and just gives the mix an overall warm feeling, you know, not too bright, not too light, you know, full of bodies, very strong. You understand? Yeah, to me, best limiter on the market, point blank, period. There's nothing even close to the FabFilter Pro L. Everybody has their preference. That's mine. So cool. Now that we have that out of the way, that's pretty much taking care of the streaming master. We could also rename this bus streaming. Rename the other bus CD. Cool. So now, all we need to do is copy down all of these settings, because at the end of the day, it's the same exact. Track, meters and all. Cool. So we can now get these meters off the screen and bring up these meters on the screen. So now we're doing a CD master. This is where our hell breaks loose. So let's make this track inactive. Let's also make this track active. Doesn't really matter about this track, nothing will be coming to it. All right, cool. Oh, we need to copy the Pro L. Cool. So here's where I will introduce something different per se. So after or before the Pro L, I'm going to insert a plugin from a company called Newfangled Audio Elevate. So I'm using a clip. Saturate is the plugin that I'm looking for. So I'm using, basically now, I'm using a clipper and a limiter in tandem or together. Cool. We'll reset the volume here. We'll make sure this is set to manual. Ceiling here will be set to -0.1. Cool. And we're doing CD now, so we have a lot more headroom. So we'll change this here to -9 LUFS. We will also change the meter in here. Should have a CD setting, which I don't see one. So can go into settings and change this from LKFS to LUFS, and we will set -9. What are we here? -6, -11, -12. So we'll set our optimal level to -9. Cool. Press that. Cool. So, and remember, this is just here to catch peaks at this point. So we will raise the level up to -0.1. True peak limiting, engage, still doing 32 times oversampling. So now, the one thing that we will change here is the mode of display. So instead of having it go across like that, we'll have it build up for a little bit. So we have it in a soft clip setting right now. It's actually not doing any work because it's at 0 and the drive is at 0. We are doing nothing but passing audio through it. We will remove the gain from the limiter here. All the gain will come from the clipper. The limiter is only there to catch the peaks. Very, very aggressive attack setting, moderately slow release settings. We can go all the way up to 10 seconds on the release, but we'll only do 50 milliseconds. So the things we are paying attention to, we have a meter to watch our peaks. We have the LUFS meter here to watch our loudness, which peak loudness and loudness is totally different. So we have that. We have this to catch our peaks, right? So let's get back into it. I notice when I move the shape of the clipper, it's doing nothing because there is no drive. I'll start at 90% to work my way back. So let's start adding some gain. Now we'll change the engine. My favorite engine in here is the twin turbo mode. But in this situation, I'm liking the newfangled engine a little bit more. It sounds a little more transparent, which allows me then to increase the type of clipping and now also increase the drive. And as you can see here, we have room. We have about 1 or so to go as far as LUFS. So I won't overdrive the clipper. I'll use the limiter now to push the final remaining volume level. As you can see, we are already there at the peaks. So we'll just use the limiter now to push it. Like I said, I have it in an aggressive setting.
No bull out, me dey on my own now. My wood that's my grown now. To own my heart right now, me need my own ozone. Make a till like a prison door. Me no pose up, me no double four. Try step a goodly step and I see four. Me sure about that like the sea. Sure, I know you can't get me up.
Pull up on your hands and shut a scene. Look where the copper do him. Take where the line for him. Mother give him jam back the chigga. Watch it hammer fly. Butterfly, butterfly. So we go to work when we go fi boy. You can't escape and if you go a hard, you still don't skillful. 32 teeth na the pit bull. Nah come back with the clip full. You mad me a ras it. Well na shallow grave na the mal pit. Still I get it all if you no want it. Have them ya hold them ya. More can than market. More hold than a basket. And so we go to work like we need the money. Brain a jump. Easter bunny 1 o'clock it fully sunny. Gas in a the Nissan Sunny. Through your shoes dear you think you're daring. Tell the conductor we no fear him.
My time now. You can't get me up. My time now. My time now. You can't get me.
All right. That seems cool. That seems cool. So, only thing left to do now is to TrackStar record. You know, make sure they're in input. Can mute one. We listen to the streaming master while it's recording. And another thing is we need to select this track. Why is it not selecting the whole track? When the hell did this thing get separated? Oh, when me resize it. That's exactly what happened. Cool. So we'll do that. Reactivate this track. So now we have both tracks ready. We'll do this live because we're going to print the track. So we'll play this track live. I'm going to bring up the other Durham meter. We don't need the what you call it? What is the name of that thing? We don't need the loudness meter. We just need the metering plugins. So we'll bring these up here. Let's zoom in so we can see the full length of the WAV file. And these can get a little bit smaller now that we are done with them. And we can make these two bigger so we can see what's going on. We will record these live, as I said. So we have everything armed up and ready to go. The only thing left to do, let's make sure we have everything selected the proper way, is to hit record and listen to the track. I will mute my mic during this process, so let's go.
Itz-Beez on the track. Yo. Venom block.
Yo, Sunven.
Yeah. Bad gal a road, hot gal a road, bad gal a road, hot gal a road, bad, hot gal a road. No talk enough, me no lippy, chitty, baby badness. Them a pushing a city nappy, them a try test me fake, but you nah go see me copy. Baddest female in the universe, I want to bunny. So Something like Illuminati, super sport Bugatti. Ticking on my shots like a Maserati. Anyway, you see me, you see Benno Black, Alexa, Annie. If you try a war, that's a kamikaze. My time now. You can't get me up. My time now. My time now. You can't get me up. My time now. Them can't get me out now. Me not take no bull out, me dey on my own now. My wood that's I'm grown now. To own my heart right now, me need my own ozone. Make a till like a prison door. Me no pose up, me no double four. Try and step a goodly step and I see. For me sure about that like the sea. Sure time now. You can't get me up. My time now. My time now. You can't get me up.
Baby them.
My time now.
Pull up on your hands and shut a scene. Look where the copper do him. Take where the line for him. Mother give him jam back. It chigga watch it hammer fly. Butterfly, butterfly. So we go to work when we go fi boy. You can't escape and if you go a hard, you still don't skillful. 32 teeth na the pit bull. Nah come back with the clip full. You mad me a ras it. Well na shallow grave na the mal pit. Still I get it all if you no want it. Have them ya hold them ya. More can than market. More hold than a basket. And so we go to work like we need the money. Brain a jump. Easter bunny 1 o'clock it fully sunny. Gas in a the Nissan Sunny. Through your shoes dear, you think you're daring. Tell the conductor we no fear him.
My time now. You can't get me up. My time now. My time now. You can't get me up. My time now.
Baby them, you no see ya baby them.
Baby them, you no see a baby them.
Baby them, you no see ya baby them.
Baby them, you no see a baby them.
All right, cool. So, fully mastered, right? So, how do we get this outside of Pro Tools? There are a few options. The first is that once you record a track, immediately in Pro Tools, that track, need to navigate to the folder. Immediately in the folder that you created, that session, which is here, you wouldn't have it on the bounce, you would have it on the audio files. Right? And this is it, the streaming master and the CD master. Right? So if we were to bring these into FL Studio, these are the mastered files. It's a stream, it's a CD. So that's one way. So we will right click, create a new folder, I'll type masters, paste them in here. Cool. The other way is by bouncing the files. Now that we have recorded the files into Pro Tools, we don't need to arm or record anything. Basically, what that means is if I were to now select this track and mute them, there is no audio in Pro Tools. Even though the tracks are still playing, because these are audio tracks. So if there is no signal being monitored or being played, i.e. like these, then there won't be any audio. So these tracks now basically are, well, we would say irrelevant. So we can disable all of the plugins, get rid of the two tracks there. And what we will do is we'll go on the mixer now, select both of these tracks, right click, and then we would go to bounce. And volume pan add MP3, WAV interleave 16-bit 441, of course, yes. Most distributors won't take anything that isn't 16-bit 441, that's standard. Then we will now, save the name, Sanven Vena Black, or My Time, Homicidal Maniac, Riddim. We'll press bounce the MP3. Well, now it's telling me that it has too much characters in the name. So for right now, we can just take this out. That's fine. Press bounce. That should bring up the MP3 window, 320, fastest encoding. Or we can go highest quality, slower encoding time. That's fine. ID3 album, we could put Homicidal Maniac, Riddim. Cool. Genre, can put dancehall. Track 1, year 2020. No comments. Press OK. It will start to bounce the tracks. So now if we go into the bounce folder, we have multiple files. So we have the CD master in stereo, MP3 and WAV file. And we have the streaming master in MP3 and WAV file. So now we can rename the file back to what we were trying to do in the first place. Now we'll bring them into FL Studio so we can look, see if there's a difference between bouncing and just grabbing the recorded files. So you need to line up CD stuff. So this is the CD stuff. This is the streaming stuff. This is the one that we bounce. This is the other one. So a quick way to tell if there's any difference is to literally just overlap the files. And as you can see, everything pretty much lines up the same. Same height, same everything. One way how we can tell that is if we were to now play. And flip the polarity on one. We shouldn't hear any audio whatsoever. Because it's basically the exact opposite, positive, negative. They cancel each other out. So that's how we know recording the file or bouncing the file is pretty much the same exact thing. Cool. So now we have the full, finished, mastered version of this file. Only thing left to do is really just take a listen to the file. We'll do that in Windows Media Player and not anything else. We don't need these two tracks. We can delete these. We just really need the masters that we bounced out. Because we already named them, I'm going to really feel like rename them. So let's listen to the CD master of this track, Sanven featuring Vena Black, My Time, Homicidal Maniac, Riddim. Till next time, it's your boy Itz-Beez-Da, TrackStar. Peace.
Yo, Itz-Beez on the track. Yo, Vena Black.
Yo, Sanven.
Yeah. Bad gal a road, hot gal a road, bad gal a road, hot gal a road, bad, hot gal a road. No talk enough, me no lippy, chitty, baby badness. Them a pushing a city nappy, them a try test me fake, but you nah go see me copy. Baddest female in the universe, I want to bunny. Something like Illuminati, super sport Bugatti. Ticking on my shots like a Maserati. Anyway, you see me, you see Vena Black, Alexa, Annie. They try a war, that's a kamikaze. My time, no. You can't get me on. My time, no. My time, no. You can't get me on. Can't get me out now. Me nah take no bull out, me dip on my own now. My woulda say me grown now. To own my heart right now, me need my own ozone. Me got it locker than a prison door. Me no pose up, me no double four. Try step a goodly step and I see four. Me sure about that like the sea. Sure time, no. You can't get me out.
up on your hands and shut a scene. Look where the copper do him. Take with the line for him mother game. Jam back the chigga watch it hammer fly. Butterfly. So we go to work when we go fi boy. You can't escape and if you go a hard, you still don't skillful. 32 teeth na the pit bull. Nah come back with the clip full. You mad me a ras it. Well na shallow grave na the mal pit. Still I get it all if you no want it. Have them ya hold them ya. More can than market. More hold than a basket. And so we go to work like we need the money. Brain a jump. Easter bunny 1 o'clock it fully sunny. Gas in a the Nissan Sunny. Through your shoes dear you think you're daring. Tell the conductor we no fear him.
My time now. You can't get me out. My time now. My time now. You can't get me out. My time now.
Baby them, you no see ya baby them.
Baby them, you no see a baby them.
Baby them, you no see ya baby them.
Baby them, you no see a baby them.